Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Magical Memories with Money podcast. For today's episode, I've actually decided to start a series on talking about the different hotels around different properties around theme parks. For this episode, we're going to do Universal Orlando. I am not going to include the two upcoming hotels in this because I feel like it's an injustice if you listen to it right now. I will update about those hotels at a later time. I probably could get all the information for you guys, but I just feel like this is a better option to start with just the ones that are open, that have been open. I have stayed at Cabana Bay recently, and so I have a bit more knowledge on it, where the rest of these I'm kind of just going off of what Universal's website will tell you, but I am going to give you guys all the facts, all the things you need to know, and I hope you enjoy checking out this podcast episode. If you're watching with me, I am probably going to have pictures somewhere on the screen of what the rooms look like, what the resort looks like, etc. I have a room tour video on my World at Your Feet page if you want to check that out for Cabana Bay, because I stayed in a 2-bedroom suite. That is the 2-bedroom suite room. Now, I think the only difference between a standard room and a 2-bedroom suite is that extra space with the couch that pulls out. I think the standard rooms look like the majority of that suite. But anyway, let's get on into it. Universal actually has tiers of hotels, but I don't actually know which hotels are in which tiers. I have my computer here with my info for you guys, so I will be reading off my computer for some facts here because this is a lot of information and my brain can't handle it all. So let's get started. Okay. So, Endless Summer Resort actually is broken up into two hotels. We have Dockside and Surfside. Now, one of these is bigger than the other. I'm pretty sure it's Dockside, but it might be. Yeah, it's Dockside. I'm looking at Surfside. Okay. So, Dockside's the bigger one, but they are like sister hotels. They're right next to each other. These are further down on the map. If I had a map up here on the screen, we're going to pretend I do. If you're watching, I do, but if you're listening, I don't know what to tell you. Endless Summer is like way down here, and the rest of Universal's up here. It is a little bit further away, and it's probably going to be a little bit closer to Epic Universe. That's also going to be further down here. So they might have a little bit shorter of a distance to get to Epic Universe when that opens. But like I said, we're not covering the Epic Universe hotels. This is an already open hotel. It's a great hotel if you are in need of a cheap hotel option. These rates can be pretty low, pretty good rates. Endless Summer is going to be your like cheapest option for you. They do have suites, but their suites aren't like as nice or as big as Cabana Bay suites. Like I think it only sleeps like 5. So if you need room for 5, Endless Summer could also be a great option. But if you need a room for like 6, or you want to go for Cabana Bay or higher, yeah. So the Endless Summer Surfside Inn Suites has 392 bedroom suites. Like I said, it has 2-bedroom suites. 360 standard rooms, and the rest of these is just like at every Universal hotel on property. Complimentary Wi-Fi and guest rooms in public areas. A Universal Orlando Vacation Planning Center, self-parking with daily fees that apply, car rental available on site, and Universal Studios store. So these are things that are at every Universal hotel for the most part. I think Hard Rock might be a little bit different because it's the Hard Rock, but yeah. Complimentary Wi-Fi is very important, I think, for any place, and a lot of hotels and a lot of like more touristy areas, not obviously theme park ones. Like if you go to New York, you go to Philadelphia, a lot of those hotels will charge you for Wi-Fi. And I think that's really great that theme parks are like, yeah, you get free Wi-Fi. Disney, of course, does it too, but Universal is really great doing that. The Universal Orlando Vacation Planning Center is something you probably don't know what it is, so let me explain for you. So the Universal Orlando Vacation Planning Center is like a desk that's located in the lobby. And so basically if you need dining reservations, if you need any help with anything, they literally have workers here at this desk that can help you. You could buy your tickets here. As a travel agent, I have to pick up my tickets. I could pick up my tickets here at this desk, which is really great because I could pick them up and go straight to the park and be in line and just go right in. That's awesome. My favorite thing that you can get here that I do want to talk about is vouchers for the breakfast in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So the breakfast at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is kind of on a first come, first serve basis where you have to basically be there in enough time to like get a table. The Three Broomsticks is going to be harder to get into than the Leaky Cauldron at like later times in the morning, which is why this voucher is great. It also saves you about $5 because the vouchers are $15, and if you went and paid there, you would pay $20. So you're saving $5, which is really great because your drink's still included with the $15 voucher. And that means you basically got your drink for free. So that's really cool. These are great things to get if you have a busy morning, you have a lot of people maybe, and it just ensures that as long as you're there by 10:15 that your breakfast is paid for. Now, I don't know what happens if you don't make it there before 10:15. I have no clue what happens. But I know that I decided to do this voucher thing because back in 2021 when it was COVID year, I think you had to have a voucher, and I thought you had to. You don't have to. They're back to normal. First come, first serve seating, but Three Broomsticks is very popular because Hagrid's is right across the street and everybody's hungry. They're going to walk right across the street and go get food, and so you're going to wait in line whether you have a voucher or not. So it may be necessary, may not, but if you want to eat breakfast a little bit later, you might want to get a voucher just to be safe. And like I said, you're saving $5, so what's wrong with it? But yeah, there's lots of great things you get at the Vacation Planning Center. You can also buy the lanyards and pouches if you don't have any. If your family's like not sure of how Universal works, how different it is, they can explain everything to you and help you out with a lot of stuff, including dining reservations, maybe buying express passes, whatever you need for your Universal vacation, they're there to help you, and I think that's wonderful. Now, of course, self-parking, you do have to pay for. You do not have to park your car. You do not have to drive to Universal. Universal has a Superstar shuttle from the airport if you're staying on site at Universal and you book your trip through a travel agent like me. Please follow me on social media at Maddie World at your feet for all your booking needs. I am happy to help you book your Universal Orlando vacation, and if you book with flights, we can book you a Superstar shuttle and get you straight to your hotel, and you do not have to drive. Now, if you pick a big resort like Cabana Bay, that I'll talk about in a minute, driving might be the better option because it's so big and, getting to the lobby might be far. But yeah. And a Universal Studios store. I think there's only 1 or 2 properties on resort that do not have a Universal Studios store, and I think one of them is Hard Rock. They all have a Universal store in the lobby, which is really great because that means that you have a last minute option right before you leave. If you do a checkout day, and you're flying back, whatever, you can go check out the store right before you leave. All right, dining. At Surfside Inn, they have the Beach Break Cafe, which is a casual food court offering SoCal-inspired flavors. So this is like a food court. Like if you've ever been to Disney World and you've stayed at like All Star or Art of Animation or Pop Century, like they have this whole like big food court area. You can go get food, lots of different options. This is what that is. Now, I've never been here before, so I don't actually know how big it is, but I'm sure it's nice. Sandbar. This is a poolside bar offering signature cocktails, frozen drinks, wine, and beer and smoothies. Obviously, you have to be over the age of 21 to consume alcoholic beverages. But yes, they have a pool bar. Most of these will have a pool bar. I don't think a single one of them doesn't have a pool bar. Some might have more than one. This resort isn't as big, so it only has one. Starbucks. Most resorts on property at Universal Orlando have a Starbucks in the lobby, which is really great because if you can get up early enough, because Starbucks opens at 6, you can go get your Starbucks and go straight to the park. And you don't have to wait in line once you're in the park, and you can go straight to whatever you want to ride first, which is really great. Pizza delivery to your room. This is available during limited hours. I do not know how pizza delivery works on property at Universal Orlando. I presume the pizza delivery is from the resort somewhere. It's probably from Endless Summer dockside next door because it's a bigger resort. It might have the pizza place. I'm not sure. But I do know of one pizza place on property. It's at Cabana Bay. So I don't know. I don't know how the pizza delivery works. I would like somebody to tell me. But they have pizza delivery, which is really nice. Recreation includes a resort-style pool in the shape of a surfboard with poolside activities. Poolside activities sound fun. I love that. It's a surfboard-shaped pool. That's super cool. A fitness center. Both a fitness center and a game room are available at every hotel on property at the Universal Orlando Resort. Those are the facts there. And of course, what's included at Surfside Inn and Suites is included at all. There are some extra benefits of some of these resorts, but for every single resort on property, these are the benefits of staying at a Universal hotel. Early park admission. You can get into the park an hour before regular guests if you stay on property at Universal Orlando, which is awesome. And my tip for you guys, if you are not going to be there at early park admission start time, it is not worth going to early. Like if you're going to get there at 8:30, wait's already high for Hagrid's if you're trying to ride Hagrid's. Now, if you're going to the other park or you're going to Velocicoaster, you might be fine. But if your focus is to go to early park admission for Hagrid's, you actually want to be there earlier than 8 p.m. I literally was getting in like every day at 8 p.m. and it absolutely drove me insane because I would be ready to go at 7 and ready to get in and wanting to be there by 7:30. Like that was my goal. Like I'm at Cabana Bay, the park's right here. Like it shouldn't take long. I get on a bus and I go. 7:30 I should be there. And I wanted that, but it never happened for me. And so you want to be there by like 7:30 if you really want to ride Hagrid's, if it's really important. Complimentary shuttles. Now some of these resorts also have a water taxi, and I'll tell you when we get to those, this one is not on the water taxi option. It just has complimentary shuttles. But the shuttle, this is important for you to know, the shuttles take you to Volcano Bay, the water park, or City Walk. You cannot actually go straight to the parks from the bus because you have to get off at City Walk, you go up the escalator, you go through security, and then you walk through City Walk to go to either Islands of Adventure or Universal Studios Orlando theme park. The parks are connected to City Walk. You go through your security. So if you're switching parks, you do not have to go through security again. You only have to go through security again if you're going to Volcano Bay or if you are coming back later in the day. You do not have to go through security to switch parks. That is so crucial to know. And it's awesome to have. Those shuttles are amazing. When I stayed at Cabana Bay, because that's also one that's not on the water taxi line, it's shuttles. When I stayed at Cabana Bay, I never waited for a shuttle. I never waited for a bus ever, whether I was leaving, whether I was going to the parks in the morning with a billion other people, by the way, because that's a big resort. I never had an issue getting a shuttle, and that's saying something because compared to Disney, I've waited at Disney. I waited in the cold on the same trip to go to Jollywood Nights on the bus, waited for a bus one night because it was supposed to come soon, scheduled to come soon, and we headed out and we ended up waiting a little bit. I waited for at the Riviera to Magic Kingdom because we hopped on the Skyliner to go over there to park hop to Magic Kingdom. Like I've waited for buses at Magic Kingdom, but I never waited at Universal. That's how good their bus transportation is. Or my timing, I don't know. Resort-wide charging privileges with your room key. So basically this means you can take your room key and you can charge your room and you just pay the room fee later. Disney does this as well, but it's with your Magic Band. I think this is a great feature because if you have older kids that you can trust to go off by themselves, they can just charge the room for whenever they get food, but you have to keep track of that and make sure that they don't overdo it or overspend it, whatever. But yeah, you can charge anywhere and everywhere with your room key. Complimentary merchandise delivery purchased throughout the resort to your hotel. They will send your purchases to the hotel. Now, I was going to test this out on my last trip, but the time of day that I decided to buy everything, I also was leaving, so I carried it all with me. So I don't actually know how the resort delivery works, but I have read that they actually send it to your hotel room. Whereas Disney, you have to go pick it up at the gift shop downstairs, so you still have to carry it, so it's like not really doing much. So I think that's super cool. All right, so that's in the summer Surfside. Let's go to in the summer dockside. The accommodations and amenities included at Dockside Inn and Suites is 1,059 two-bedroom suites. See, this is the bigger resort. 991 standard rooms. So that's something else I like, is that they have bigger, more suites at this resort than they do guest rooms, because there are lots of rooms on property, but like two-bedroom suites are just really nice. And of course, complimentary Wi-Fi and all guest rooms in public areas, Universal Orlando Vacation Planning Center, self-parking, car rental available on site, and a Universal Studios store. I didn't talk about the car rental. I think it's Alamo is the brand that does the car rental. If you are interested, I'm pretty sure it's Alamo. I will find out and put it up here on the screen. It's in text form for you if that's not it. But I'm pretty sure it's Alamo for some reason. All right, dining. We've got the Pier 8 Market here, with multiple stations offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I love to hear that. We love breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, the dining at the resorts on property usually open around 7. At least they did at Cabana Bay. I'm assuming it's the same for everywhere. And usually if they have a market style offering like that, like a food court style, like Cabana Bay does and the summer does, they have a resort cup that you can get. I did not get the resort cup myself. My mom did. I got it for her one day. But basically the resort cup is like the Coca-Cola Freestyle cup in the parks, but it's for the resort only. So you can't get Coca-Cola Freestyle in the parks with this cup, but you can just get water out of those machines if you're curious about that. And this cup is a little bit cheaper than like the cup in the parks. The cup in the parks is so expensive. I get the reasoning behind it. Like if you're a big soda drinker, I think it's a great way to save money for you. But if you're not drinking soda, girl, that's a waste of money. That is a waste of money. I even looked it up. I looked at what Coca-Cola Freestyle flavors they have. They have over 100 flavors. They have things like Powerade. They have Peace Tea. They have other options besides soda. But a lot of the times those machines in the parks are out. Like I literally had to get like 0 sugar root beer one day and it was not good. And so, you know, when you're really wanting that caffeine, you're wanting that like root beer or whatever, sometimes they just don't have it and they're not as plentiful around the parks as you'd like them to be. So I just did not like Coca-Cola Freestyle. I've talked about this in my vlogs for that trip. Check them out right here. But yeah, a lot of these resorts have cups, like resort cups for the resort. It was $13 for one day. I think that's with tax because it's supposed to be like $10, so with tax it'd be $13. So it's about $25 for the length of stay, I believe. I think that's for the length of stay. It might be for 3 days, but I think it's length of stay. Which is really cool. That means like for the entire length of your stay, you get a $25 cup. It's just like Disney. It's a little bit more though, where you get to have your cup for as long as you need it. I only did one day for my mom because we just didn't need more than one day because, you know, it's not usable in the parks. Like I already said, she's not going to be at the resort that much. Like I did it for the day that she was going to be there a little bit, but then she came to the parks and so it wouldn't have been worth it. If I'd have known she wasn't going to go to the park the next day, I would have got it for 2 days, but you know, whatever. So resort cups are a great option. Now, I don't know how many resorts on property have refillable cups. I know Endless Summer does, because I also saw a guest waiting in line for the Grinch have an Endless Summer cup, and I know Cabana Bay does because I've had their cups. I will try to look it up and note it for you guys and figure that out, but I know a lot of the more premier, more expensive hotels do not do resort cups. But if you're staying at those hotels, you're probably rich enough to not think Coca-Cola Freestyle cup is too expensive, so what do you need it for? I have Wavemaker's Pool Bar, which is a laid-back poolside bar, the Oasis Beach Bar, which is a sunny poolside bar, so they have 2 poolside bars here. They have the Sunset Lounge, which is a lobby bar offering your favorite cocktails and craft beer. This is in the lobby. A lot of these will have a lobby bar of some sort, a Starbucks, and pizza delivery to your room. Now, like I said, I don't know how the pizza delivery works. I imagine it probably comes from the Pure 8 market, but I don't know. Recreation. 2 resort-style pools with a kids' splash pad area and poolside activities. That is super great to hear. We love having kids' splash pad areas. So if you want a more splash pad area, Dockside Inn has one, whereas Surfside does not. Fitness center and a game room. Now, the fitness centers have cardiovascular and weight training, equipment, lockers, shower, and changing facilities, and it's complimentary to hotel guests. You do not have to pay to use the fitness center. You do, of course, if you go to the game room, have to pay the games. That is not free, but you get to use the fitness center for free if you stay at Universal at all of their resorts. And of course, like I said, the exclusive hotel guest theme park benefits to Endless Summer Resort, Dockside or Surfside is early park admission, complimentary shuttles, resort-wide charging privileges, and complimentary merchandise delivery purchased throughout your resort to your hotel. All right, now let's do Cabana Bay, and I'm actually going to split this episode into multiple parts now. So we're going to end it with Cabana Bay and Adventura Hotel, and then we're going to do the rest of the resorts in another part at a later time. Okay, so Cabana Bay has 2,200 guest rooms, including family suites with kitchenettes. And the thing to know about these is these rooms can be either exterior entry or interior entry. Exteriors like motel style, like Pop Century or whatever if you've stayed at Disney, and interior is more like in a hotel. Endless Summer is interior entry. I did stay there like one night. It is interior entry. It's more like a hotel, but Cabana Bay is a fun beach resort. It's got multiple it's big. It's got multiple entry types. You also can get a Volcano Bay view room, whether it's a window that's like a half view or a full view. Really cool. Of course, complimentary Wi-Fi and guest rooms in public areas, Universal Orlando Vacation Planning Center, self-parking with daily fees that apply, car rental available on site, and a Universal Studios store. Dining. The dining's fun. We got the Bayliner Diner, which is a food court that offers grab-and-go items from a variety of themed stations. This is one of the nicest food courts I've ever seen. I don't have any pictures of it, but it is a really nice food court, and don't be like my mom, pay attention to where you're going. She walked straight out the door right by the Coca-Cola freestyle machine, and she ended up having to walk really far to her room because she didn't know where she was. I think she ended up walking around the whole resort. Now, this is the fun thing here. They have the Galaxy Bowl restaurant, which is attached to the recreational option of the Galaxy Bowl. This is a bowling alley. This resort, Cabana Bay, literally has a bowling alley on property. It's upstairs above the lobby area, and you can go and like literally get lanes and go bowling. They have up to 10 lanes, or you can dine here. The dining's probably an easier reservation to get. I googled these and found where they were one time, but I can't remember the website. But yeah, you can do that. Atomic Tonic is a poolside bar and grill, so you can get both drinks and food. The Hideaway Bar and Grill, like I said, drinks and food. You must be 21 to drink, but you don't have to be 21 to order food. The Swizzle Lounge is a lobby lounge. Starbucks. Delicioso Pizza, which is classic home-style pizza delivered to your room. I think Delicioso Pizza, if I'm not mistaken, is in the Bayliner Diner as an option to get pizza. Like, you can get there, or you can have it delivered to your room from Delicioso Pizza. But it is at the food court. And Shake's Malt Shop. I wanted to go here, but I just never did. And I'm mad at myself for not doing it. Especially on that day that I went to the pool. They have milkshakes, smoothies, ice cream, malts, you guys, of course, all kinds of fun traditional classics. This resort is very 50s theme. In fact, when you walk out the front of the lobby toward the bus stop, you will see like some vintage cars. Like, the rooms are so well themed too. Like, the bedding, everything looks so 50s. They have VO5 shampoo and cream rinse, the Zest bars for soap. Like, they did a very good job of theming this resort where you feel like you are in the 50s for a minute. Recreation includes the Cabana Courtyard, which is an iconic dive tower, water slide, interactive kids play area, cabanas for rent, and Atomic Tonic pool bar. This is a pool area. They have a water slide here. They have a hot tub. This is the pool that was near my room, if you watched my vlogs. They have the Atomic Tonic pool bar. It's really fun. And then they have the Lazy River Courtyard, which is the other pool area that has a lazy river, a pool, the Hideaway Bar and Grill, and it has like waterfalls and cannons at the lazy river. And I've seen here that you can actually buy tubes, like inner tubes. They have kid sizes, baby sizes, and adult sizes. They say Cabana Bay. They're really cute. They're kind of pricey, but it's a cool souvenir, and I believe you could probably take these as well to the water park, because the beauty of this resort is that you have a walking entrance to Volcano Bay from this resort. Like, you are right next to Volcano Bay. That's why you can get a Volcano Bay room view. I was closer to the side by like the garden walk and the everything else, but you know, whatever. The Galaxy Bowl I already talked about. They have the Jack LaLanne Physical Fitness Studio, complimentary for hotel guests, like I said, and the Game-O-Rama, which is old school classics and the latest high-tech games, so it's still a little themed. It's got old school classics. And of course, the exclusive hotel guest theme park benefits are early park admission, complimentary shuttles, resort-wide charging privileges, and complimentary merchandise delivery. I loved Cabana Bay when I stayed there. It was one of the best stays I've ever had. Now, my mom will tell you that she didn't really care for Universal and whatever. I loved it. I thought Universal was great. If you're looking for a family vacation and you're maybe tired of going to Disney, or maybe you just want like a little bit of Disney, a little bit of Universal, try a split stay option. I am a travel agent at Maddie World at Your Feet. I would love to help book your trip for you, and we can book it and do all that. So all of these hotels that I just talked about, including the one I'm about to talk about, are the value hotels, prime value and value hotels, and we're going to do the rest at a later time, like I already said. So this is not a 2-hour long podcast episode. We might do more, we shall see. But for now, because I can cut parts out, it's fun. But for now, let's finish off with Adventura Hotel. Now, this hotel is very hotel style. It is right next to Cabana Bay, and so you could essentially walk across the street to Adventura Hotel if you wanted to. So let's get into it. So Adventura has 600 guest rooms, which means it's not a very big hotel, especially compared to Cabana Bay. It does not have suites either. So if you are looking for more just a room, quick and easy, this might be a good option for you. And of course, the amenities, as always, complimentary Wi-Fi and guest rooms in public areas, Universal Orlando Vacation Planning Center, self-parking with daily fees that apply, car rental available on site, and a Universal Studios store. Dining at Adventura Hotel includes Urban Pantry, which is a food hall where you'll find a variety of dining options with menus and flavors for every taste. They have the Bar 17 Bistro, which says, take in the views of the city and the theme parks. You're on the top of the world and feeling it. All your drink favorites, some custom potions, and delicious small plates specialties make the rooftop bar a cool hangout. So this is a rooftop bar. Adventura is a tall hotel that does have a rooftop bar, which I think is super cool. Bar Sol, you might spend a whole day in the relaxing surroundings of the hotel's pool, and why not when all your frozen drinks, cocktails, beer, and wine are right there. I love that. Bar Ventura, contemporary, spacious, and inviting, this breezy and comfortable lobby bar is perfect gathering space for a before or after dinner hangout. So this is just a little lobby bar. A lot of these have a lobby bar, and of course they have a Starbucks. I don't need to tell you what a Starbucks is, I hope. It's a coffee shop, if you don't know. The recreation at Adventura Hotel is a pool that has a hot tub, kids splash pad area, fire pit, and daily activities. There are fire pits also by the Cabana Bay one, I forgot to mention that. And a fitness center, so there is no game room at this hotel. And the exclusive hotel guest theme park benefits to Adventura Hotel, of course, are early park admission, complimentary shuttles, resort-wide charging privileges with your room key, and complimentary merchandise delivery. That's Adventura Hotel. We're going to wrap this up here with the Universal hotels and continue on with the rest of the hotels at a later time. I will have one singular blog post if you are wanting to read this on the blog that you can find on my blog linked below. For all of the hotels, but I will talk about them in 2 separate podcasts because I like to just throw in other little details. The blog post is just straight facts that I'm reading. My other little inputs, those are only for you guys who listen, so you should listen. But just so you know, the location is the Universal Orlando Resort. It is 15 miles from the Orlando International Airport and 12 miles from downtown Orlando, if you were wondering for the location. Okay, so we're done with that. So that is all of the prime, not the prime. So that is all of the value resorts on property at the Universal Orlando Resort. The prime value being in the summer resort, and the Adventura and Cabana Bay are the value resorts. They are all pretty close in pricing, but of course they are higher in pricing if you're staying at Cabana Bay or Adventura Hotel, because you're a little bit closer to Universal, and that's totally fair. These all have shuttles. They are not on the water taxi service, but a lot of these resorts are very close together, very walkable. Like you could walk to Adventura, and I think the next resort over is on the water taxi, and you can take the water taxi if you wanted to. I don't recommend doing that because you have to literally walk across a road, a public road with lots of cars going down it just to get across to Adventura Hotel. I don't recommend that. But yeah. Also, there is the garden walk option if you like walking, if you don't mind the walking to the parks. If you're staying at Cabana Bay, you can take the garden walk. It is on the side over by Building 2, which is near where I stayed, and you can walk to the parks. It takes you pretty much right up to the end of City Walk right before you go to Islands of Adventure. So it's actually better if you're going to Islands of Adventure closer, because you still have to walk a little bit more to get there to Universal Orlando Park. And they have security right there for you to go through security. So you're basically just bypassing City Walk. Now that's only if you're a walker. If you're not a walker, if you'd rather ride the bus, you could ride the bus. Your transportation options, completely up to you, but there is very few transportation options here on property. Some of these hotels are a closer walk, like Hard Rock or Portofino Bay, I think is one, but completely up to you. It's your preference. Don't forget, I can help you book your vacations to Universal Orlando for you. Like I said, we can do split stays with Disney. We can do just Universal Orlando. You can do one day at Universal and multiple days at Disney. Do it however you like. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Maddie World at Your Feet Travel for all of your travel agent needs. And of course, it's completely free to use. All it takes is a $200 deposit to book your trip. And once you do, I will give you way more info than I just gave you just now, because you don't need to know everything. More so just my tips and tricks for the theme parks. I do like to cover the basics of hotels for people, for all guests, whether you book with me or not, because I think it's very critical to what kind of guest you are to know what kind of hotel you need. And that's why I think this is a great podcast episode for you. If you listen to it, stay tuned to next week for the rest of the Universal Orlando hotels on property, including Hard Rock, because yes, there's a Hard Rock. And just a fun little note at the end of this video, I'm going to talk about it a little bit here and a little bit next week. If you've seen the movie Bring It On In It to Win It, you probably know that they filmed this movie at Universal Orlando Resort. Like, they literally stayed in the Hard Rock, they filmed in hotel rooms, they filmed in sound stages on property, they filmed it in the theme parks. Really fun, really cool movie. One of my favorites, and it's definitely one of the coolest things I've seen that they filmed in a theme park. And I like to find the areas, but I never can, because they've changed the theme parks since this movie came out. Because that movie came out like way back in 2007. So yeah, that's a fun thing to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed listening or watching this episode of the podcast, and I'll see you guys for the next one.